Hey, I'm Tashi, and welcome to my home. We're talking Big Twist. So today, I thought it would be fun for us to talk all things Big Twist yarn, since we've been through quite the adventure, the highs and the lows and the highs again, with our beloved yarn brand. We're not only going to go through my entire yarn stash and take a look at the Big Twist that I already own, but I may have done a little shopping recently, so I figured we would take a look at some more of the Big Twist that I bought before it disappeared from Joann's shelves. And then, of course, we've got to talk about our savior when it comes to Big Twist yarn, Hirschner's, in case you haven't heard. So we're gonna have a big old chatty vlog today. We got lots to talk about and lots to do, so let's get started.
I love yarn. I love yarn. I love yarn. I love yarn.
So I say we start at the very beginning and we talk about the journey that our crafting community has been on with Big Twist yarn. So obviously, we all know that Joann's is closing. Moment of silence. And of course, when they announced that they were closing all of their stores, everybody's major question was, what the heck is going to happen to Big Twist? And I don't know about many of you, but my personal favorite acrylic yarn is Big Twist yarn. So you should let me know in the comments below what your go-to acrylic yarn is, because I might be hunting for a new go-to brand in the coming days. But we were all super worried that Big Twist was going to disappear forever, and we had a savior swoop in and save Big Twist yarn. So if you haven't heard yet, Hirschner's has indeed saved Big Twist yarn. So far though, all that we know is that Hirschner's has bought the patent for Big Twist yarn. We don't know if they're actually going to be producing the exact same type of yarn that we've come to know and love as our Big Twist yarn. So we don't know what it's going to look like, what it's going to feel like. Are they going to have the same colors? And we know nothing, okay, except that supposedly Hirschner's is maybe here to save the day on Big Twist yarn. So naturally, since it's my favorite yarn, I have been stocking up every chance that I get, and it's become a little bit excessive. So I have bags of Big Twist yarn sitting on my floor waiting to be reshelved. And so the story goes like this. I had recently visited my local Joann's to see if they had gotten any yarn restocked, and they had. And so I ended up buying quite a bit, but I've honestly been trying to hold back on buying Big Twist yarn just because my husband made a really good point to me the other day. I honestly wanted to go spend like hundreds of dollars just stocking up on every color of Big Twist yarn, but my husband goes, well, what if you're working on a project and you run out of the color of yarn that you're using? How are you going to get more of it? And I was like, sir, that is a very good point, sir. And so I didn't go and buy the hundreds of dollars of Big Twist yarn in that moment anyways. But since then, I have slowly been accumulating piles and piles of Big Twist yarn, because what happened was I went to my local Joann's and I was specifically going to get one type of yarn that I use to make Christmas trees during the holiday season, because they had gotten restocked on that. So I was like, well, it's 30% off. I'm going to buy a bunch of it. And then I saw this yarn, and a little piece of my heart exploded with joy. And so I didn't buy it in the moment. I actually left it on the shelf, but then I couldn't stop thinking about it. And I had a particularly stressful week at work. And of course, last week, Friday, at the end of the work week, I was like, you made it through another week of work. You deserve yarn. So I went and bought a bunch of yarn. And then what happened was I was at a conference on the other side of the state. And of course, while I was there, I had to visit their local Joann's just to see what their yarn situation was. And I was looking for one specific color because I am working on a project for somebody that I love. And I am using a color of Big Twist yarn that I was running low on. And I was like, well, maybe by some miracle, they'll just happen to have the color that I was looking for. Wouldn't you know, friends, miracles are alive and well in the world, because they had the color that I was looking for, of course, in the giant jumbo 1 pound skeins, of which they had a variety of colors. And I was like, well, what if I just buy a few of the jumbo skeins? But then you want to know what else they had? they had more of that same yarn that I got from my store, but in different colors. So I bought a lot more. So I have been through quite the journey with my Big Twist brand, and needless to say, I have quite the stash of Big Twist yarn that I will be busting through in the coming months. But my justification for all of this is that I will use it all eventually. I do have plans for all of the yarn that I bought, so I will go through and kind of tell you what I'm planning to make with everything. And then we have to try to find space for it on my shelves because, friends, there ain't a lot of space. So that's what we're kind of going to be doing today. So I guess we better get started. So I'll start with the easy part by showing you the actual color that I went into this other Joann's to purchase. And it is this guy right here that I haven't even opened because I haven't quite gotten to him yet. But the color is Varsity Yellow. And I was specifically running very low on this for a project, and I actually needed it for 2 projects. So this was like a sign from the yarn gods that be that I needed to continue on this journey on which I was embarking. So I took this as a very positive sign. So then, of course, I had to buy more. So while I was at that store, I also bought 2 skeins of black, okay? Because honestly, one can never have enough black yarn. And I am planning to make, if you see that sweater in the background here, this granny square cardigan, I am planning to make another one of those in a black and white color palette with a hot pink border. So you may have seen my vlog where I did another yarn haul a couple weeks ago, and I did come home with this color. This is the Big Twist Living in the color fuchsia. And so I did get a few skeins of this because this is going to be the accent color in my black and white Retro Daisy Granny Square cardigan. So that is some of the Big Twist that I have already on my shelves, but that is also what I purchased the jumbo skeins of the black yarn for. So kind of excited about that also, just because like you always need black around. Black is just like a staple color, and I was very excited when I saw that they had the value pounds of the Big Twist in the color black. Those were the only value pounds that I bought, okay? They had a lot more colors, so I feel like I held back pretty darn well. But I did get a lot more yarn. So we gotta keep going here. We got a couple more bags to get through. So then of course I told you that from my local Joann's, I did buy this color. So this is the Big Twist Menagerie yarn, which we had never gotten at our stores before. I think it's been out for a little while, but for my local store, we had never gotten any in until of course they're closing. And then we get this huge shipment just of this color. So this is the color Rose Finch, and it's just beautiful blues and pinks and purples, and it gives me cotton candy vibes, and I love it. I love, love, love it. So I bought 5 skeins because my plan is I want to make wearables. That's my thing, is I make things that you can wear. So I just have a vision with this yarn to make like a beautiful sweater, and I'm not sure exactly what size I'm going to make it, which is why I bought 5 skeins. But my thought was like, maybe I can make a sweater, and then if I have leftovers, I'll make a t-shirt with the leftovers, or like a tank top or a crop top or something, because it's so soft. That's why I love Big Twist. Their yarn is just so soft, and I'm just obsessed with the colors of it. And then of course, while I was at the other Joann's on the other side of the state, they had more colors of this menagerie yarn, which I've seen it online and I've been obsessed with it online for forever. But again, I was in my head, I was like, you don't need more yarn. I'm weak, okay? I'm weak. So I caved, and I bought more. So I did buy 5 skeins of this color in the Big Twist Menagerie, and this is the color Parrotfish, which is a very unique name, but it's just like beautiful blues with like, I don't know, some like goldish yellow colors in it. So love that. And again, same idea. I was thinking of doing a sweater with this color, and maybe like a t-shirt with the leftovers. And then I just had to get this color, and they only had 3 skeins in the same dye lot. So I only bought 3 skeins of this one, because that was all that there was, but this might be my favorite. It's called Hummingbird. Isn't that just stunning? I love this color. It's not a good color for me, but like, it's just so beautiful. I'm like, I have to make it for somebody. So again, sweater. And then, of course, if you look at it really closely, there's like some purples in there. So I had to get the perfect purple to pair with it because I knew I didn't have a good purple to pair with this color on my shelves. So I got this just regular Big Twist Value yarn in the color Lilac to pair with the Hummingbird Menagerie yarn. And this will be just kind of the accent color for the ribbing and all of that kind of stuff. That's kind of the plan for all of that yarn. And so that is all yarn that I got at the yarn store on the other side of the state. And then, as you may have seen in the intro, I came across this cutie, which is a little Big Twist skein that's smiling at you because of course it's happy, and it's on a keychain. And guys, when I tell you that I almost bought like 50 of these just to give away to people that I love, I'm not even kidding you. Like, they have baskets full of these guys at that yarn store over on the other side of the state. And I stood there for a while contemplating. I'm like, do you need a million of these to give away to your followers? And ultimately I decided no, because they ended up being $4 a piece, and that would have been a lot of money. And I'm glad I decided no, because this one's kind of already falling apart a little bit, so might have to stitch that guy up just a smidgy right there. But I couldn't resist just getting one. So I don't know if I'm going to keep it as like a memento of the olden days, or if I'll give it away in like one of my live streams or something like that. So make sure that you are following, make sure you tune into my live streams, because maybe you'll be able to win this at some point in the future. I don't really know, but it was just too cute to resist, especially as a Big Twist girly. So I had to get it. The rest of my new yarn is not the Big Twist brand, but I'm going to show it to you anyways, because I know you're here because you love yarn, and I love yarn, and I love talking about yarn, so I'm just going to show you what I bought. But first I need a drink of water. Hang on. The rest of the stuff that I bought, I'm just a little bit wild and crazy, okay? While I was there, I did find more of the Wool Ease Thick and Quick yarn, which I just had a huge haul of that yarn just the other day in one of my vlogs, because again, I use them to make these bauble Christmas tree wine bottle covers during the holiday season that people love. So I was stocking up, and they had more colors of it while I was at this other yarn store. And so I bought more colors. So I only got one of this color because it is a little darker than what I normally do, but I'm like, you know what? Somebody might actually really like that. So this is the color Toasted Almond. And I do like the varieties of browns that it has in there. And then I got 2 of the color Marsh. And I did have a couple in this color last year, just because it does have the Christmas colors in it. So that's a good option as well. And then I also got a couple of this color, which is Rapids. So just a nice blue. And I did get like a more navy blue in the last haul. So I've got like some blue themes going on. And then I ended up buying some of the Red Heart Granny Square yarns because I already have some. Like you can see, I've got some right here. This is the Flower Power Granny Square yarn right there. And I've got some other colors kind of scattered throughout. I love the Red Heart Granny Square yarn. It's one of my favorite yarns. So I have a vision for a project that I want to make, and actually I got the idea off of the Yarnspirations website because I am like subscribed to their newsletter, so I just get crochet ideas sent to my inbox all the time. And they had an amazing cardigan that they had made with their regular Granny Square yarn and their new Flower Power Granny Square yarn, where they kind of combined the two Granny Squares into a sweater. And I was like, that's brilliant, and I wanted to do it. And so I got the perfect yarns to combine into a sweater, and I'm super excited because they're giving me all of the spring feels. So the Granny Square yarn that I acquired is called Watermelon. And so it's going to make a Granny Square, something like that. And I don't know yet if I'm going to do their version of the granny squares or my version, which is a starburst granny square, which I use to make my tumbler sweaters. So I'll get there when I get there with that project. But then the complimentary one I got in the Flower Power all-in-one granny square yarn is I got this color, which is called Flower Field. So really cute. So it's just this green border with the white flower and then the yellow center. But I thought that these two would pair really adorably together. And then I was thinking that maybe the border could be like this hot pink color. So again, kind of going back to this Big Twist living yarn that I bought, I think would pair really nicely with it. I don't know if I'll have enough to do both sweaters. My other thought was that since this is Red Heart, I might want to go look to see if Red Heart has a yarn in this color to pair with it, or one of the other colors that's in this granny square. Just obviously not green because there's already a lot of green in the cardigan. But that is my plan for these two, is I'm going to make them into a little cardigan, which I think will be perfect for spring. And last but not least, from this store on the other side of the state, I bought one skein of the Lion Brand mandala yarn. And this is the color Gnome. Now, the reason that I bought this is because I also bought a crap ton of the mandala yarn from my local yarn store when they got restocked. I literally bought my store out. And there's a reason why, and I'm very excited about it. I'm also a little bit nervous to tell you because then I'm going to actually have to follow through and do it. But again, I'm going to do it. Okay, I'm going to tell you, so then I'll have to follow through. So out of this mandala yarn, I actually make these really cute granny square bags. And I make crochet kits that I sell on my website, and I really want my next crochet kit to be for these granny square bags. So I have been stocking up on this yarn while it's on sale to include in those crochet kits. I only bought a few colors because my store only had like 3 colors and they had 3 of each color, so that's why I bought them out. So I'll show you all of the ones that I bought. So one of the other colorways that I bought is this one, which is called Werewolf. And let's see, I did buy 3 skeins of the Werewolf. So we'll have enough for 2 of the kits in the Werewolf because I'm going to make, obviously I'll make one as like a sample. And then I also bought 3 in the color Bow Truckle. So that's what that one looks like. So cute. And then I bought 3 in the color Mantis. And honestly, I thought that one of these was the color Gnome, but apparently not. So apparently I only have one in the color Gnome. So I'm going to have to keep my eye out for more of that one because I thought I had another one, but apparently I did not. So that's a bummer, but that is a-okay because this is obviously still available online, so I can always buy more online. But I'm hoping that soonish I'll be able to release some of these crochet kits with this yarn. That is going to be a future me project that I am going to start working on as soon as time allows, but I am in finals week right now for grad school, so time is not allowing much these days, hence why I'm recording this very last minute vlog. Fun fact, today's Friday, and fun fact, this vlog is coming out Saturday, as in like 15 hours. So that's where I'm at with my life right now. We're doing great. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. That's fine. That's fine. So that is all of the yarn, the new yarn that I bought. Now we just have to find space for it on my shelf. And while we're putting all of that yarn away, I will point out some of the other Big Twist yarn that I have been hoarding because there definitely is some in there. So we'll take a look at some other fun stuff while we're putting all this yarn away. So the good news is that we really only have like one bag of yarn to put away because all of the mandala yarn I'm just going to keep in a bag until I get the kits kind of put together. And then the value pounds, since they're already like packaged up, I honestly might just store those in my closet because I do have some room in my closet. So I think that's where those will go. So we don't have like a ton of yarn to fit in here, and we do have some space because I have been crocheting more lately, which is lovely. But yeah, we definitely have to do some rearranging. So I guess I'll just kind of start like up here and we'll work our way down through the colors and try to squish some things in as we go here. Oh, and all of the woolies I definitely have in that corner. It's all right there, tucked away until the holiday season. So that's where the rest of that is gonna go as well. And hopefully I'll be able to fit all of the rest of these in that corner, but time will tell. As far as Big Twist goes on my shelf, I actually do have quite a bit of the value yarns. Oh, that's not Big Twist, just kidding. But I do have 2 Big Twists in like this same color. It's like a golden color, and I have like a whole pile of the value pounds kind of sitting on the other side of my room because I bought them specifically for a commission project. I'm making Harry Potter house scarves for my sister-in-law for her family because they're doing a Harry Potter photo shoot. But that's not till October, so that's why they're just kind of sitting off to the side. So I do have 2 of these guys for that project, which will get used. If I don't use them to make the scarves completely, then I'll use them for something else for sure, because I have a fun little Harry Potter project idea coming up as well. But I do have this partially used skein of Big Twist in the color Ivory, and I just love having like the staples in the big colors because I go through them quite frequently. And then I had this for a project that I was working on. This color's covered up, but I'm pretty sure it's like red or like brick red or I don't know, something like that. It's just your standard red for Big Twist. And I recently made a sweater using this color, and so this is just what was left over. And I think, yeah, this is also Big Twist in the color Varsity Red. So it's a little brighter. And I'm pretty sure this is just red because this is Varsity Red, and then I think this is just red. You can see the difference. And I remember, oh my gosh, I was obsessed when this color came out. I still think it's beautiful, but this is all I have left because I've already gone through like a skein and a half of this yarn. But this is the color Warm Brights. And yeah, I squealed when I first saw this color at Joann's stores because I thought it was so beautiful. So that is what's sitting on that shelf as far as Big Twist goes. So I have a pretty good collection on this shelf for Big Twist yarn, which makes me very happy. So I think as far as the yarn we bought, I'm thinking that this hummingbird color will go nicely on this shelf. I try to just keep like the color palettes kind of together. So I think there's some space we can cram these. We can kind of cram these on that shelf there. And normally I wouldn't have the white here, but I bought some other like big skeins of white, which we'll get to in a minute. So that's why that got moved here. So we'll just move it for now and see if we can cram all this in here. There. Okay, beautiful. If you guys are looking for a storage solution for your yarn and you haven't tried cubes yet, highly recommend. Oh my gosh, like it was a game changer when I switched to storing my yarn in cubes. You can fit so much in a single cube because the yarn's so squishy that it really does bunch together. And especially the short skeins, like you can turn some at the back. Like all of these are cotton yarns, and so they're really small skeins. And if I pull one out here, like there's more behind that I kind of just stacked up at the back of the shelf. So you can fit so much. And then I hide all of these yucky, the yucky ends behind so that it looks pretty facing out. Just my hot little tip for you. Okay, not that you asked. Okay, I do have a lot of Big Twist as far as greens go as well. So I'm gonna have to probably move you guys down just a smidge here. There we go. Okay, so this is Big Twist. I know that. This is the color Mint. And then this is the color Slime. And I used this during Halloween. I crocheted a Beetlejuice sweater last year that I still have. It didn't sell, which I was shocked because the Beetlejuice movie came out. I thought for sure that sucker was going to go. Oh, that actually might be it for Big Twist. Okay, that's it for Big Twist on that shelf. That kind of surprised me, honestly. The rest of it is secondhand yarn from Loops and Threads, which is a Michaels brand. And then this is a Karen 1 pound skein of yarn. So yeah, that was all the Big Twist on that shelf. That's kind of, that's a little bit shocking to me, if I'm being honest. All right, now this bottom shelf I think has more, but again, I have a lot of like secondhand yarn here because I've been trying to buy more secondhand yarn. So all of this is secondhand from Hobie, but this is one of the Big Twist value pounds. I know that. in the color Varsity Green. So love my Big Twist value pounds. And it looks like we have some more green colors. So this one is Forest Green, and we also have Sage. Yeah, and that's it on this shelf as far as Big Twist goes as well. So I do have quite a bit of green. I love my green yarns because green's my favorite color. So that's why I have so many. But I also do have a plan for all of my green yarns because I'm an Eagles fan. And so when it comes to football season, I am planning this year to crochet myself an Eagles sweatshirt. So I am going to be using a lot of green colors when I make that project. Rude. Stay. We do have a couple that we could throw in the green. I think I want to try to throw these guys into one of our green shelves. This bottom one is like crammed tight, but I think I can squeeze. Yeah, I think I can squeeze them in right there. I think that'll be perfect. There we go. Get in there, you. Yeah. Ta-da! The master. We gotta move over. Let's go. Shift over a little bit here. Onto the blues, which I also have a lot of blue because blue is actually my favorite color to wear because it goes good with my eyes. Honestly, the blues are so packed in, I don't really want to take them off to show you all the Big Twists, but I'll just kind of point it out. Like, I know this one is a Big Twist sparkle yarn. I don't know if you can see it all the way up there, but that one is a sparkle yarn. And I think this guy's also Big Twist right here. This is one of their blue colors. And then this guy right here is Big Twist, another Big Twist value pound. But honestly, I think that's all the Big Twist in blue that I have. And you can see I have another flower granny square yarn right here. We do have more blues that we gotta fit. So I've got 5 of these guys that I want to fit in with the blues, but it is looking pretty full, and I'm not sure if that's going to happen. Can I make any room here? Maybe if I move this guy down here. I just love the squishability of yarn. It's really lovely. Okay, we're just gonna shove some of these guys to the back here. I think we can fit it. I think we can. Nice. It's not perfect, but it fits. I did it. Okay, next up, purple. I actually have a lot of purple Big Twists, so I'll show you. So here we have the color Plum, Value Orchid, Rainbow Bright, Grape, with some fuzzies on it, and a value pound in the color purple, in case you had any doubt. And the nice thing is we do have a little bit of room on these shelves. I think we're going to be able to squeeze some more stuff in here. And then I just added this color, this purple, which is lilac. Just look at all the, can we just, these are all different color purples in Big Twist. Big Twist is hitting on the purple. I love it. Voila. Gorgeous. I did take these 2 out because I'm going to move them up to the pink section because they have a lot of pink in them. So I'm not cheating, I swear. Just shifting. Speaking of shifting, here we are on our last row. And honestly, there's not a ton of Big Twist left in this last section. I do have some pinks, but other than that, I don't think I have any in the white. And there's only a couple in the bottom section here. So you've already seen this hot pink color. I've told you kind of what I'm doing with that. And then this is one of their older colors, Pink Ombre. I honestly don't even remember what I used this for. So this is just leftover from a project back in the day. And then these 2 are also Big Twist. So let's see, we've got the color Dark Coral and Cosmetic Pink. Okay, this is a little bit of a mess, so I'm just gonna do some quick rearranging. There we go. And the pink section is complete. And that is the last of the yarn that we had to put away. So moving on to the white, I do have all the way down here, this is a Big Twist color. I think it's just the color cream. Oh yeah, it's literally the color cream. it is the color cream. So that's cream. And then on the very bottom, let's see what else I have down here. Oh, look, another value pound. And I guarantee that's the color brown. So value pound in the color brown. And then I also have this sparkle black. It's literally, that's what it is. It's sparkly black. And I do have another value pound in the color black, but it's almost out, which is why I got that new stuff. And I think this might be the last Big Twist skein that I own. It is Big Twist Heather in the color beige. Shockingly enough, that brings us to the end of our Big Twist journey. So that is all the Big Twist yarn that I have and kind of some of the things that I have used it for or I'm planning to use it for. And honestly, summer is coming and I do most of my crocheting in the summer because I am a teacher, so I have the summer off and I can just focus on my business. So I am very excited to kind of bust through a lot of this yarn. If you guys would be interested in seeing like a Big Twist yarn stash bust video, you should definitely let me know by dropping in the comments below. Let me know what you want to see me make with all of this Big Twist yarn. And thank you guys so much for joining me for this very random but also super fun vlog. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I will see you guys next time for another crafting adventure. Bye!